Hi, y'all. Welcome to my live. I hope that you guys are enjoying the waiting period. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time before we get started. But I hope you guys are in for a treat. It is called the It's Already Trademarked Pivot 101. If you are having difficulties or you do have difficulties later, we will send this on over to you. But you guys are here to find some solutions to the elephant in the room. It's already trademarked. That's crazy, but it does happen. The one thing that I want you guys to go ahead and get in front of you is a sheet of paper and hopefully, right, a pen. So that's all you will need for this activity. You just have to be able to pull all that stuff for you. So if you haven't already gone about doing that, I advise you to do it now. Okay. So it has been a wonderful treat to go through and figure out the best things to teach you guys about. But I have learned that most of my business owners, y'all are struggling with the same thing, and that is the It's Already Trademark conundrum. So we're going to do a little workshop before we get started. And then we're going to go into the masterclass part of the proceeding. So if you have your sheet of paper and you have your pen, I want you to indicate in the actual comment section and let us know where you are in getting your stuff done and handled. And then we will be back in about 1 minute. So in 1 minute, we're starting. So hopefully you guys will be there. I know that we may have some technical difficulties, so I'm letting everybody get here in a timely fashion. So I will talk to you guys real soon. But thank you so much and enjoy this presentation called this commercial from my sponsors, i.e., myself. So filing a trademark is scary sometimes, and it can stress you out even after you file. Wouldn't it be nice if you had someone to take that on for you? Let's take a little bit of stress off of you when you file your trademark with Nina Spear Law Firm by your side. But you guys got the free masterclass, so you don't have to worry about paying nothing today. It's all completely 100% free. So let's get into the presentation. Hopefully you grabbed your pen and paper and you are ready, right, to get started. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is learn about who I am. So hold up, let me get y'all's screen set back up because apparently it stopped sharing correctly. Give me 2 seconds. I just love when things work out and then all of a sudden they like discombobulate. All technical difficulties, guys. Got you in 2 seconds. Meanwhile, my nails look fabulous. Presenter view. Open the presenter screens. This is the audience window. Come on now. And switching out of that. Close this. Share the audience window. Gotcha. Perfecto. But yeah, so I've been in the game for about 3 years, law and trademarks. All the different little images, icons, or ways that I see myself. The first one, the lady justice, lawyer, author, because I write books in my spare time, speaker, because I do in fact speak a lot. I did a whole, exhaustive list on my social media recently, and then truth, telling you truth. But I'm also a giver. I also love taking pictures. I love talking, and I want you guys to know that you're braver than you believe, you're stronger than you think, and you are truly limitless. So that is my whole brand, my jam. My name is Nina Spear, but you guys can just call me Nina for short. Now, we can get this thing to work. Come on now. All right. So I want you guys to tell us about a brand. I really do not like technology. It's like technology doesn't want me. There you go. Technology is crazy, y'all. But I want you to tell us about a brand that you love. I want you to use the comments for participation, or write it on your notepad. All I want you guys to do is tell us a brand you love. So I'm going to give you about 2 seconds or 10 seconds to do that in the comments below. While you're doing that, I want you to really think about it, a brand name that you love. It's going to be really important for your presentation later because it's going to come up. I promise you, if you think of one, I more than likely will mention them later. So definitely tell me one that you love. And I'll wait. I'm going to check the comments. Make sure I didn't miss nobody. Looks like we're good. Haven't missed anyone yet. All right. So once you have told me that brand name that you love, okay, I want you guys to tell me what your biggest business issue is. Now, you can type it in the comments if you want, but you don't have to, but you can type it in the comments to let me know, to kind of keep us informed throughout this game. If you gotta, type it somewhere else or you're sending it to me, you can always send it to the number you see scrolling across your screen, which is 205-490-8068. And we do answer those questions in real time during this masterclass. So you need to tell me what your biggest business issue is. I know it might be difficult, but in order for you to get to your trademark pivot, it is important for you to answer these questions. So I'm not answering them or asking them for my own help. I promise you, you will see the huge benefits later. So, what are your top 3 priorities in your business? Okay. Now, this might not be an easy question for you. Maybe not even an easy question for a lot of you. But I want you guys to mark them with a star or put a star in the comments. Making your own schedule, charging the value in full, always being booked and busy, building an all-star team, or learning new skills to save you money. Now, if any of these kind of stick out to you, let me know in the comments. You can let me know 1, 2, or 3, but let me know in the comments by the end of the presentation. It's important for you guys to remember this. Now, I will always be available for you guys in this masterclass. So if for some reason you do enroll in this masterclass later, next week, the week after that, just know that I am here to make sure that you are successful. So your masterclass experience is not just limited to right now. If there's a question that I can answer, definitely let me know in the comments throughout the presentation. Now, making your own schedule. Okay, if that's your top priority, then this is important for you because your schedule is about to change if your trademark has already been trademarked. Charging your value in full. Well, all those profits you're about to bring in, somebody might take them from you if it's already trademarked. Being booked and busy can lead to a terrible name later on if you're booked and busy, but you have a trademark infringement issue. Building an all-star team might scare away potential investors because they don't want to work with people who are infringing on trademarks. And learning new skills to save money is probably the one thing that will not be affected by your trademark infringement because we can always learn better to do better to get better. All right. So the next thing I want you guys to answer for me, got questions for you today. I got to ask you some questions, kind of pull you out of your own zones because you probably haven't been thinking about things for your business, but you should. You should be thinking about the things for your business. So the one thing I want you guys to think about is what are money making outside the box concepts. I want you to really think about this, okay? Write it down. Write it down. Put it on a sheet of paper. Put it in your notebook that you should have right by you. If you don't, use your notes app on your phone. But I want you to really think about your money making outside the box concepts. Think about a fact. maybe an opinion, even a question, something that you challenge, tell your friend, right? Talk to them about it and listen to their thoughts about what it is that you're doing in your business that is going to make you money and is outside the box. The reason being is because if it's already trademarked, there may be a pivot, there may be a strategy, but you got to know what makes you different, right? You also have to know what your biggest business issue is. You have to know exactly what brand names that you love in order for you to take your business to the next level. So that's the reason why I'm asking you. And your priorities, oh gosh, your priorities will play a big role in your trademark already being trademarked process. Okay. So the next question I have before we get to our pivot strategies, right, is if your ideal client could spend time talking to you as a serious buyer, okay, a serious buyer, okay, how much would you ask them to invest in your product or service? Put that dollar amount and the why in my comments if you dare, okay, because this is going to transform the way you look at everything from this point on if it's already trademarked, okay? So if you could tell me what you would have them invest in your product or service and the why, it's gonna blow your mind. I promise you, you will not be the same after we have this conversation, okay? So once you've done that, put it in the comments. I will look for it even after the presentation. So if I don't see you now, if for some reason I can't reach you, you guys do know y'all can reach out to 205-490-8068. My office does send me all the messages. I will answer them in real time if you're watching the presentation. Perfecto. So the next thing, this is where you all came for. This is why you here. This is why you here. Your trademark blocker or issue. I want you to drop them emoji for your blocker. So if your blocker is already trademarked, drop that mad emoji, not the one cursing. Okay, we'll get to that one in a second. If your trademark blocker is you are confused on the process, right? Put the wow emoji. If your trademark blocker is you don't even know what it is or what the purpose is, put that that smiling but got that little, water droplet coming down that I need some help, please. If it's out of budget, put that sad face cry emoji. If you got cheated before in your trademark process, put that cursing because don't nobody like getting cheated, right? If you don't trust lawyers, put that straight face because who trusts lawyers except lawyers. And then lastly, if you applied and got rejected, put the cat mad face. Okay. So put that in the comments and that will really help you figure out where you fit on the scale. Okay. This informational. All right. So this masterclass is supposed to inform you about these different blockers and how to pivot past them. One, if you've already been trademarked before, or it's already been trademarked, that is probably the thing that you are most concerned about in your business. It's probably the thing that keeps you up at night. You're worried about that cease and desist letter coming. Oh, okay. I got the confused on the process. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Shayna. You was awesome, girl. I appreciate y'all. Y'all heard that, right? You saw. We got one who's confused on the process. Okay. If you confused on the process, say, wow, oh my gosh, it's cool. That's why we're here. So a lot of what I do is I do teach trademarks on my Trademark That Thursdays weekly post, either through a live or through a tip that you guys will see. So people who are confused on the process, don't worry. We got more free stuff in store for you every Thursday. Just come to Trademark That Thursdays. We got something for you. Shayna will deliver it for you wonderfully and beautifully made. Okay. If you're already trademarked, okay, this is where we're going to start, okay? I know it's hard, but it's not going to be hard forever. You guys got this. We here. You came to this masterclass because you want some answers to this process and you tired of being given the runaround by the trademark office, the USPTO, the examining attorney telling you to get an attorney, but you don't even know what attorney to get. You don't know what to ask them for. You don't know what help you need. So already trademarked. It's pretty hard, okay? But before we get there, gotta ask you one question, okay? If you had to rebrand or keep your business name, which one would you choose and why? Comment below your pros and cons for both options. If you don't feel comfortable telling everybody else, then send it to us in a text message, 205 490-8068, and we will definitely respond, okay? But I want you guys to keep this in mind. This is the considerations. When you see something that's already trademarked, okay, you have two options: rebrand, keep your business name, okay? Rebrand can be forced upon you, okay? But keep your business name, and it requires a fight. That's why it's a little smaller, okay? Because there are some fights if it's already trademarked. The reason being is that people who have a trademark want their trademark to still have value, okay? So keep in mind what you would really choose when you got your robot trying to decide which one you want. Is it keep your name, or is it rebrand? If it's rebrand, how much money is that going to cost you? These are all considerations, and this happens to real people every day. So let's do some pivoting, okay? So if you're already trademarked, right? That is, I just realized you guys couldn't see that. You guys could not see that. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Did y'all see that? My little guy, my little robot guy, the rebrand or not. But if you didn't, just make sure you ask yourself that question. Perfecto. All right. So now that we can move on past that, we're going to get into our pivot strategy. So our pivot strategy for today is starting off with the it's already trademarked. This one hurts. This one hurts. You know why? Because there are some people called trademark bullies. I mean, trademark owners. Big companies like the Starbuckses, the Nikes, the Adidases, even health leaders, right, are known in the industry as trademark bullies. They go tooth and nail over things like the certain shapes, words, and designs. You could have one word in common, and if they feel strongly about it, they will come for you. All you got to do is get something called an office action. And if they see they trademark cited, they're going to come in your vicinity. Some of them don't even wait for you to get an office action. They see one word in common, and that's enough. Sometimes it happens with designs, sometimes it happens with shapes, but many times it happens with words. They have those resources, y'all. They can outmaneuver you with money. They hire these big firms, and they don't even hire a firm that has the experience in your industry, right? They hire a big firm that has bukus of money, and they use those resources to outmaneuver you. They will email you even though they're not supposed to, because if you have an attorney of record, which is what some of my clients have, they will still try to intimidate your actual client. They won't call you even though you're listed, right? They won't call the attorney, they'll call you, the client that doesn't know any better, to scare you. This is all scare tactics. That's why they're called trademark bullies. Until they send a cease and desist letter, there is nothing going on. They are just talking out they booty. Okay, I'm trying to tell you, I like to wonder, okay, how many times people who make a ton of money at these big firms really actually send out cease and desist letters and actually think that they have a lot of merit behind them. Because when my client gets threatened just a little, what I do is an extensive overhaul over the actual merits to their claims and what's not necessarily meritorious or something that will work. Okay, they will file y'all in federal court, because trademarks are federal, and send you a complaint. And sometimes they will send you a warning cease and desist letter. That cease and desist letter usually is worded like this: we've already filed in trademark federal court, and you have no choice but to rebrand or go to trial with us. Some of them will send you actual trial paperwork. There have been people who have called for people who have sent them actual trial documents, the complaint, the agreement, the decision, because they weren't able to afford to defend themselves. Okay. If they are found to be right, remember when I told you about that money, all your priorities, you get your priorities straight, whatever those priorities are. If your priority isn't protection first, all those priorities I listed earlier that you put a star by, you will not even be able to make time for those. Why? Because you're going to be giving them your money, the profit you did make, and it will go towards the legal fees. So all that money you put to the side because you was working your little butt off, that you did not take the time to put that stuff in writing, trademark wise, you can be told no. top reason why I tell my clients that I think you should get a trademark is not because I think you should get a trademark. It's because I want you to remember you don't want anybody to be able to tell you what you cannot do with your brand. And a trademark is something that gives you the power to say, oh, no, this is not infringement. It doesn't give you the wherewithal, like it will never happen. The companies still take registered brands and they will try to litigate stuff even later. Okay, they try to get it canceled, whatever. But what trademarks gives you is that added authority behind your name. Actually, the USPTO said this is not infringement, but you tried it though, right? The USPTO says this is a registered trademark. So even though you think this way, I don't think the law is on your side, authority type stuff. Okay. And you would have to completely rebrand if they were not in your favor. Okay. Any legal scholar worth their salt is going to tell you this famous word. If you ever talk to a lawyer, well, it depends. Okay, this is what it depends really means. Okay, if it's a popular term in your industry, okay, for example, in my wonderful experience on a trademark that was already trademarked, the word was bay. Okay, the word was bay. Bay is commonly used throughout the world as slogans and slang, and everybody puts something in front of bay. There are lawyer bays, there are brownie bays, there are freaking ice cream bays, all of that. But the bay that my client had was not that type of bay. Okay, it wasn't fitting any of those. It was a specific nuanced industry. And the examining attorney thought that, well, the word seems strange enough and unique enough that this could be infringement. Well, then I went through their database and saw that there were many bays that were actually, in fact, trademarked. And so, if it's popular enough, they could be wrong. The it's already trademark rule doesn't apply if it is so many different people that also have ownership over it that it is restrictive on you so that no one person can have it. That's not going to work. Furthermore, they don't just look at the USPTO. They will actually look at Instagram and Facebook and blogs, y'all, and they will see that there are plenty of people in the industry, and it would not be smart for them to allow one person to keep everybody else from using their business because that was never the intention of the trademark office. Now, if it's in a completely separate category of goods, now the issue I brought to you was not in a completely separate category of goods. Okay. It was in the same category, same industry. Okay. But and sometimes there will be stuff in a completely separate area. That's why Apple for music, right, is a record company owned by the Beatles, is able to exist, and Apple, the phone company, is able to exist because they're in separate categories of goods. That's why we say this could be a depends thing and not a they got you type thing. Lastly, I like to use this a lot. One word, usually the first word, is considered distinct and different enough so that people who would be searching for your product would not happen upon or even find and be looking for the same things as someone else. Y'all, other people gonna try to say, you can find this on the internet and do Google searches. And the people who are not as professional when it comes to doing a trademark search will merely do a Google search. But you have to do more than a Google search. You have to do a domain search. You have to do a Google database map search. You have to do an extensive Instagram, Facebook, and USPTO review. You can't just look at the things that make sense. You even have to go as far as go to the SOS, the Secretary of State website, and look at the LLC registrations and the company registrations to see if the word is in fact unique. Because some companies don't have websites. When did you get your first website? When did you get your first, right, opportunity to tell everybody about yourself? Well, for me, it took 3 years before I was able to put my website up on the internet, which means everything's not searchable. But a lot of people make the common mistake of just doing a simple Google search and think that that's enough in the context of law. And it is not. And that is why people get people like me and other trademark attorneys that provide trademark services, such as responses to office actions, responses to cease and desist letters. We also help with the fact that you can get your application and search process in full and get it filed with us and let us help you along the way. So, a lot of times, if it's already trademarked, there is probably a solution. It might not be the solution you want because it might mean a rebrand, but it doesn't have to mean a rebrand if there are certain situations. Now, just because you don't rebrand and just because you're able to overcome your issues of it already being trademarked doesn't mean that those trademark bullies I mentioned earlier won't still make life heck for you, okay? They have the resources and the money to overwhelm you, okay? So don't ever think that they ain't gonna try to harm you, okay? So let's go back, okay? You said you were confused on the process, right? That was one that was definitely mentioned in my search. So if you're confused on the process, don't worry. About most of y'all are confused on this process. The average trademark process, it takes anywhere between 8 to 12 months. And once I filed the application, it takes the USPTO about 6 months to even look at it. Okay. They just changed it. It used to be 3 months, but we was on them, and so they made a change recently that now it's 6 months that we're gonna have to wait. There is a delayed application review. That's what I want you guys to be aware of. There's a delayed application review. That means that this 6 months was not there before. It was 3 months, y'all. And they had it, they were pushing it out like clockwork. But in 2020, especially, more people filed trademarks than ever before. 2021, probably more people are filing trademarks than ever before. And the USPTO sometimes gets overwhelmed. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with USPTO. We love them. Okay, we love you, USPTO. Please pass all the registrations of my clients. But it does take them a little bit longer now to process. And maybe it's because they're trying to do more due diligence, or maybe it's because they have less people. But whatever the reason is, 6 months. That means you're going to be sitting on your thumbs for 6 months trying to figure out what's happening and have no clue if you do it on your own. But with a trademark attorney, you're able to ask questions. You're able to, find out what's going on in the process. You're also able to find out what levels you can take with your business. Can I put the T in by my name? Can I not? Those are things that are important. Additionally, y'all, this happens. Okay. I just got another one the other day from another company. But there are companies like WPS and other companies that will find your trademark filing. And all they need, right, for a trademark filing is your address. Okay. They will send you mail, okay, to the house. This is why we try to use the P.O. box, or we try to get something that's not publicly listed so that they can't do this. But they will send you stuff and ask for like $1,400 to get you on the World Public, Trademark Register, the World Registry. It's not the World Registry if it doesn't come from the USPTO, the Madrid Protocol, or some other trademark service through the actual country. It does not have the effect that you guys think it has. In fact, it will more than likely cost you money that you will never get back. And what they do is they take advantage of the fact that you don't know much about trademarks. So you think you are helping yourself get a trademark faster, when in fact you are not. And they use scare tactics to win over your good funds. Okay. If it doesn't come from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, do not pay them. Okay. Don't pay them. Okay. When it comes to your trademark application and getting on a register, USPTO only, and they charge $350 per application or per class. Okay, that's about as much as you can do to try to get yourself on the register. So it's about $350. Just the filing fee for them is $350. That is crazy. Y'all imagine if you wanted to do two applications, you would have to have $700 just to file the dang thing, not even to do the search, nothing. So that's crazy. Then, if you are confused on obstacles and unknown consequences, this is the thing. Okay. The process is usually real clean. Okay. They actually want to register your trademark. They have said this in their trainings. They want to register your trademark. What they don't want are errors in your application. The reason why you encounter problems in your trademark process is because there were errors in your application. The errors lead to a miscommunication about what it is that you sell, and it violates the rules that they have worked so hard to enforce. So if they let you get through with little things that seem nuanced, then they have to let other people get through because they are going to reference your application. So you get something called an office action. Now, office actions don't have to be bad, okay? They could just be that, you didn't put the right wording and they suggest proper wording, okay? But the ones that you don't want, right, are the 2D. The 2D office actions are the ones that lead to that cease and desist letter, the companies harassing you, people trying to tell you that you are infringing on their trademark and things of that nature. We want to avoid these. And the way that we avoid these is that we do an extensive search. When we do an extensive search, whichever trademark attorney you use, they will tell you whether or not it is going to come up as an infringement. If it comes up as an infringement, okay, that is public record. That means that the companies that are monitoring their trademarks like a hawk, because they do that, they will see that you actually have a trademark site and they cited their application as being infringed upon. Okay? Doing the process alone is risky. The reason why is not what you think, right? It's not that there's no one you can call. You can call the examining attorney the moment you get an office action. And about after 2 or 3 questions, because I have done this, guys, they will tell you to consult a trademark attorney. Now, I'm a trademark attorney, and they told me that I should consult a trademark attorney. And I was like, do you understand? I'm asking you questions because your whole process is confusing. The process is confusing. The way that they give you feedback is confusing. And when you ask them questions, they tell you to get a trademark attorney. And they even tell this to trademark attorneys. But just remember, people never knew that having one can reduce the stress of having to do this alone. Okay, because when you call the examiner, they don't know you. You a layperson. They can't explain nothing to you. They don't know what you're asking. But you, as a lawyer, a person as a lawyer on your behalf, can ask questions that maybe you wouldn't even think to ask, right? Get clarification. Get them to make an examiner's amendment, which is a godsend. Because sometimes the application error is something like a dropped period or the wrong extra word. And all you have to do is delete that extra word and boom, your application is on to the next stage. Okay, so if you're confused on the process, let's be a little less confused. Okay, so far, I hope you guys have learned a few things about being trademarked and being confused in the process. But the most important thing is, do you even know what this is, right? Do you know what a trademark is, what its significance is? So let's talk about it for a second, okay? So a trademark is a word, a symbol, a phrase, and a design that identifies the source of goods, services used in commerce. Nina, what does that even mean? Okay, this is your brand name, your business name. What you named your LLC should probably be trademarked before you name your LLC that. Why? Because if it finds out that you are infringing on someone else's trademark, you're going to have to change the whole name of your LLC, your branding, your signage, your marketing materials. All of that's going to have to go bye if you are seen as an infringer. Most people don't know what that means. A business name, which is the actual words, is the word mark. That is what you are trademarking. Okay, most people use that. They trademark the words. That is why I have it listed first, because it is the most important one to trademark. Now, the other ones I don't have listed in any type of order. I wanted you to know about the different variations. So there are cool ones like the sound, right? You can trademark a sound. They're Aflac. That is a sound. It is distinct. Y'all know that's that duck trying to sell me some insurance, okay? Smell mark. Bet you didn't know you could do this, but Play-Doh actually has a smell that is distinctive to the source of Play-Doh. And it's a cherry-like vanilla robust smell. That is how it's described on the trademark register, because they don't send them, I believe, Play-Doh necessarily to smell, but in a smell mark or non-traditional trademarks, that is protectable. But the other one that you will constantly see is a design mark. This is your logo. This is your stylized font. Okay, this is that cute hair and nail salon look that you go for on your website. Like the way that you wrote D's Nails is legit as your business name, that's how it's going to go into the database. And that's what's going to get searched. So if you just insert words that are stylized, they will still go on as a design mark because it is really a form of a logo. It's a stylized font. Think about Starbucks's, little mermaid girl. Okay. Think about that. The design mark is how you represent your logo. all of these things that I have told you identify a source. When you see Nike, you like shoes, man, y'all sell shoes. When you see Starbucks, like coffee, y'all sell coffee. When you see any of these companies, you know from their words or the logo alone what they sell. And if you actually use magenta in anything, T-Mobile will come after that behind because they own a color mark, right? For the word or the color of magenta. I kid you not. Don't use it in your branding materials. T-Mobile will be there in a second. Okay. The purpose, right? Why do I even do this? Imagine, right? You were playing Monopoly and you had no starting money and no property, but everyone else is much more ahead. Well, that is what you are doing right now without trademarks. Okay. So Starbucks is able to sue just about anybody for having or using anything similar to their brand because they own all these trademarks. And when they go to the USPTO and they're like, that's mine, they have like 200 plus applications to reference of prior registrations to the applicant that's in question versus you. Zero. Goose egg. None. Nada. The reason why they have so much strength is because everyone else already has everything protected. And so, because they have it protected, when they cite first use or who used it first or who protected it first, guess whose registration came before yours? The big box company, the company that had the foresight to think, what happens if somebody else uses this name? A recent report by Bloomberg found, okay, guys, and this is another reason why I do what I do, that marketers pay Black TikTok influencers significantly less than their white counterparts, even if the latter merely mimics content that originated from Black users' creative heavy lifting. That means that Black creators are creating content on TikTok, getting it stolen, and getting paid for it because their white counterparts did it differently and now are making more money. Okay, this is an idea, this mindset of choreography and content thievery that happens in trademark law. We don't want that. We want to create our distinct names, our distinct brands. IP law, trademark law is one thing that I value more than pretty much anything in the world when it comes to my law field. I love actually helping people advocate for their rights in criminal law. But my cool thing about trademarks is that I get a chance to look up creative legalese arguments. I get to look up the origination of words, understanding what makes a word truly exclusive, what makes a word truly original, and what makes content truly creative. And when you are really able to go in and delve into that and prove it in a court of law, it's almost like a mini victory for all the Black content creators out there that are having their moves and their dance moves and their video content stolen. Okay. So thinking about that, that is why people get trademarks, is because they're already stealing. And then the stuff that they steal, right? And it doesn't have to be one person, it could be anybody. The stuff that someone is stealing from you, they are making more money doing the same thing that you did, the same brand, the same name, the same logos, and they're making more money than you. That's why we get trademarks, okay? So that we can prevent people from doing the exact same things as us and getting money, because the standard of law in trademarks is confusingly similar. That's why you hear that all the time when we talk about trademarks. That means if it only kind of looks the same in copyright world, it's got to be exact copy. But in trademark world, if it's the exact same words but just different spelling, so instead of Pepsi, you wrote pep with a C, Pepsi. It still has the same sound, right? The auditory sound, it can still come up as an issue for your trademark application. That is the cool part of it. So people who are trying to do a variation and call it something else, thinking they're hip, they ain't hip, okay? And we know this because we do trademark law. So this, funny enough, is what I get most often, y'all. And y'all know because y'all might have told me this once or twice, but it's cool. Thrift stores and bargain shopping and things like that, I mention, okay, because a lot of y'all tell me it's out of budget, okay? And I'm not laughing at y'all. I'm laughing with you, okay? Because I've been there. I've been there when the bank account says overdraft, when it's looking a little funny this month. Because woo, Lord, that credit card bill that ran up. But let me tell you some things, okay? We say this, but what is out of budget might be spending excess money. In order to afford protection for yourself, you might have to stop paying for things that you don't need. Attire and wardrobe for a photo shoot. When you first launch your business, and I mean this, y'all, it took me 3 years to get a website. Okay. Thrift stores, bargain shopping, and a smartphone. That's it. I got some cute pictures that someone took from me a while ago, and that was my business card. That was everything that I used. I didn't have a website. I had a tap.bio account, which is like a link tree. Okay, and had an email address that was a regular unpaid gmail.com address, and I had a Google Voice number. That's it. So I had smartphone, bargain shopping, and thrift stores. Okay, you just have to be able to look outside of the box. Stop going broke to appear that you look good and you can't really afford it. Okay, it's a very hard thing to keep up with. Also, finding a well balanced meal plan that incorporates the basics like proteins, veggies, and fruit. My daily Starbucks and my outside food is really the reason why I can't afford a lot of the things that I want. I get food so much. I go to Starbucks every day. If I would stop getting takeout that I can't afford, I would be able to afford some of the things that I want to use for my business and that I need for my business as well. And not just my business, the things that I want to make a priority for myself, right? I was able to realize that there was something outside of my budget, but it was outside of my budget because right now my spending habits are through the roof. So I had to, check my own self when it comes to what I'm spending my money on. I already made this change, but gym membership and personal training, it's free workouts at home, y'all, and your local library and recreation centers. You don't have to appease your trainer or make anybody think that you're doing the great thing. You can get a nice little mat at the house and you can make it work until you can afford to take care of yourself with a trainer and all of the fancy stuff. Okay. Look for free. I know that free might be a little harder to find, but it is a lot easier to manage in your budget. Last home. People buy organization tools and impulse buys like nobody's business. You ever been going on Facebook and you see the sponsored ad and you click and you go through like a little click funnel, and then by the end of it you already bought something because they got you. It's just $27. It's just $7. It's just 20. It's just $97. I can get this. Okay, you can make your own schedule. Okay, using a sheet of paper and a T-shirt. Don't need an organizational tool. Don't need Trello or any of the other stuff that I bought 3 years after starting my practice. Okay. You can get these things later. Start organizing by hand. Use a handy dandy notebook. And it literally saves lives. It saves lives. Okay. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. And then lastly, marketing tools. How many of y'all are spending money? It's just $5 a month. It's $5 a month you don't got. Okay, marketing tools, even Calendly and Canva, I didn't pay for. Okay, Tap.bio, I don't pay for until recently. Milkshake, right? It's MLK Shake. It's like an app where you can make a website. All these are free. I used them for free for 3 years before I started giving them any of my money. Okay? Do not pay for these things. And if you guys are able to cut and conserve in these areas, y'all, then you will be able to afford what you need, which is a business protection. Trademarks, that's what they do. They protect your business. It's a great feeling to have a protected business and to be able to say, y'all can't tell me what to do. Now, y'all, this one, I know it's going to hurt your feelings. Don't get mad at me. I didn't do it. Okay, it wasn't me. All right. But maybe your trademark blocker or the reason why you haven't pivoted because it's already trademarked is that you did go to somebody. You went to a trademark lawyer and everything, and they cheated you. Okay. First of all, I'm sorry that happened. Should not have happened. It's not a good feeling to experience working with a trademark attorney that's not going to prioritize your needs. Okay. Now, gonna hurt your feelings, Don't get mad at me. It's all love. Why did you get cheated? Okay, let's be real. It's because we didn't know any better. Most of the times when we get cheated in business, it's because we didn't know any better. The reason why you don't own your logo is not because, right, you're not a smart business person. It's because you didn't know that you're supposed to ask them to make a contract with you in order for you to get that logo. Okay. You thought that when you paid them and they said in words, not in writing, that was yours, that was yours. Okay. But copyright law doesn't work that way. Some of you have never had an attorney advisor in your business, and it shows because maybe you've never asked these hard questions. Okay. Let's play some Q&A real quick. Have you ever asked this question? Let's put that in writing so we have a clear idea of what both our needs are. You probably don't say that very often. Why? Because as soon as somebody agrees to that price point you want, you're like, yes, deal, sold. How many of y'all have done that? For real, for real. How many of you done that? Put a 1 in the chat if you did it, and 2 like, Nina, you crazy girl. I make all smart decisions. Okay. But if you did do that, okay, if you've never done that before in your life, put a 2. But if you've had a decision where you're like, dang, that's the price point I wanted. 1, I got it. I don't even need it in writing. I trust you. Don't never trust nobody verbally, okay? It might lead to you not getting that deal, but people can renege on a deal in a second because verbal agreements are not the same as written ones, okay? Written agreements have to be honored by the tenets and the rules of contract law, but they don't have to be honored in verbal, okay? Just letting you know. Now, you ever ask the question, well, how do you handle copyright ownership rights? You don't even know what those are. You've never even asked because you don't know. Copyright ownership rights are, you created my website, so who owns it at the end? Oh, you own it? Or I have to pay you? Do I pay you to own it? What do I do? You never had that conversation. What about your photographer and your videographer? Well, who owns that? The videos and the pictures. Do you own that or do I own that? And if I own that, can you sign it over to me? Same thing with your logo. So who owns this after you create it for me? Same thing with your characters for your children's book. So who owns this after we're done? You can ask these questions. You are allowed to ask these questions before you do business, even on Fiverr. You can make them put a custom quote that says that you get the exclusive copyright rights to whatever it is they create. Okay? Next question. Let's say you forgot to ask, but you want to figure out how to go back and do it. Are you willing to sign an agreement that says I own my content? Are you? Are you willing? If they say yes, then you can hit them with a copyright assignment agreement, which is what we do with the law firm. We put the copyright assignment agreement there. It's all content, all content concrete and binding, okay? And you send it. Now, once they get the agreement, they might be like, I don't know what that is. I ain't finna sign that. All right. But all that says is that you own your exclusive rights, and they are saying that they will not claim ownership of your rights. So that when you file for your copyright or your trademark for that matter, when you say, I own this, you are not lying to the federal peoples. Okay. I'm not going to help you lie, and I would not advise you to lie. So in order for you to obtain it and have ownership over it, you got to get it in writing. All right. Do you have an employment contract? When you hire somebody, do you make them sign some type of contract? Even if it's just volunteer, do you have something for your confidentiality, for your copyrights, for whatever they create for you? What if they do emails for you? Do you make sure that those emails stay the property of your company? You should. I mean, they're working with your company. They could go and take all the stuff that they use for your company and share it with another company. And then you wouldn't even be able to compete no more because they stole all the stuff they created for you. That's not good. That is not good. Okay? Keep that in mind. What are my perks for investing in your business? You never asked anybody, what do I get? What's the investment perk? What comes with this? What's the package include? And ask for them to write that package down in writing. You can't just take their word for it. Ask them for it in writing. It needs to be in writing so you can see it. Even if it's an email, it needs to be in writing. Do you have a budget for paying me to speak? Do you guys know that the questions that people ask you, like, will you come speak? Will you do? You can actually ask people to pay you to speak. I'm telling you because the reason why we getting cheated, right? Do you have a budget for this? Do you? That's why I'm asking you if you have a budget. It's not if you have a budget, it's if you can make a budget. Okay? When do we discuss the voting structure of our business? Maybe you got cheated by your business partner. Okay? Maybe a business partner had a business where they were the manager of that business and they got to make all the decisions and you were just part of the business. Doesn't that feel awful? But you could have said something when you guys decided to form the business in your operating agreement. But you didn't have one of those. Do I own these logos, photos, or videos via a signed contract? Or did they just send me an invoice? Most times they just gonna send you an invoice until you make them either sign a contract or ask them to sign over the exclusive rights to your stuff. What are the terms of the advertisement deal? Some of you are brand influencers. You use your social media account to bring people in. What are the terms? Is it perpetuity? Do you have to do it forever? Can you ever take the post down? Can you ever work with another company? What are your restrictions? How restrictive is it? Is it so restrictive that you can get out of the contract? Do they own your user profile? You don't want to be like a Haley Page. Haley has lost her Instagram page. That's her actual name. She might have to change her actual name because of a deal she made by not looking at the contract. What happens if I transfer my interest in the business? Sometimes you own a business together with your friend and your friend transfers the interest to their daughter. Is that a rule you want? Because you can say no transfer of interest without a vote. Is this a licensing deal or a transfer of interest? Sometimes you go selling stuff and people buy a bunch of your product and you think that you signing something that says you finna do sales with them and they're gonna give you some of the profit. But instead, you just gave them your product to resell, and people can resell stuff all the time. They bought it from you legitimately. They want to resell it, they can resell it legitimately too, can't they? Just saying. What are the terms and conditions? This is something that none of us really think to ask because a lot of times, why ask? I mean, that's going to complicate everything. That's going to make business messy. But contracts are not messy. They're way better than not having one. And you will find that out when you meet people who don't want you to get your way. All right. So, most of y'all have experienced this at some point in your life. Okay. You don't trust lawyers. Okay. And this is why. Okay. There's a scientific study that concludes that no one trusts lawyers. Okay. We don't trust everyone. That's normal. But I know why. Right? Because we love bragging about the stuff we know. We like talking about charging our worth. We come off as cold and mean. That's really what it is. We lack warmth. We don't make our clients feel welcome. We make our clients potentially feel bad about the questions they may ask. And we don't make them feel special on the first call. Okay? The first call is the hardest. The first call is where you set the tone for your client relationship. You let people know what it is that you bring to the table. And no, every first call isn't going to go great, but you got to remember warmth. You got to remember to listen. And you have to remember that this is more than just a sales call, okay? Even though, at the end of the day, you do want people to pay you. But this is about making people feel like their ideas are valuable, that it's worth protecting, and that they can tell you about all their dreams, their hard thoughts, things that they're worried about today, tomorrow, next week. Okay, you gotta have warmth, and that might be missing, and that's okay. But I mean, you here now, we in a master class together, and I'm as a lawyer, and I don't know, maybe I'm not warm to you, but I do try on the most end in all of the consultations that I've done is to be warm, to listen to your ideas, to be able to talk to you. And even in DMs, I have heard that people really enjoy my response to DM messages. When it comes to service and law, the lawyers that you deal with and encounter aren't all, trying to be difficult. A lot of them just haven't been getting paid. Okay, we haven't been getting paid. People do not pay us. We gotta chase people to pay us. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you get to lose out on A1 experience. And so that's why I want to tell you, maybe you don't trust lawyers and maybe you're just missing some warmth. And I can only tell you that I have some sunshine in my life. I can't promise you that everything is going to always be good because I might not always have good news for you. I might have to tell you you might need to rebrand. I don't know yet, but keep that in mind. The last one, right, which is where a lot of you guys are at, is this applied and got rejected. Okay, more than likely you applied, you got rejected. If you applied and got rejected, as I told you guys, there's something called a 2D refusal. This is the one we really don't want to get because this requires a response to an office action. You have to prove to the trademark examiner that you are not infringing on anyone else's brand, and the trademark examiner has to see it from your side. Okay. Then there's the improper specimen, right? That just means you need to change out what you're using as proof. That is easy. Okay. That's not difficult. It's not hard at all. You can do this. Okay. It can be daunting to do alone, but it can be corrected. Most of the times, a trademark attorney knows the specimen that you need to provide, but if you do a little research, you can overcome this improper specimen. Multiple classes. Now, this might be something more tricky because sometimes the examining attorney is recommending a class that isn't really what you want to protect. And so you might go through what they tell you to do, but that might not be what you want. You might want something a little different. And so there's a way to use the multiple classes to your advantage, right? You can use the multiple classes to help guide you into which classes you can protect, or you can use the multiple classes action to be like, okay, well, I just wanted this class and I'm going to eliminate all this other wording. But just remember, you can't add more. So multiple classes doesn't mean, oh, now I can have multiple classes. Multiple classes is a way, right? A vehicle for you to be able to protect more classes that maybe you didn't designate, but you can't add more words to whatever it is you're applying for. Has to be the same words that you put in the original application or we turn down again. Ornamental. You will get this if you have a t-shirt, okay? You will get this if you have a t-shirt and you just take a picture of the t-shirt, okay? You got to do a little bit more than that in order for it to not be considered ornamental. For t-shirts, I tell my clients, shirt tags, the affixed shirt tag, which is like, like the price tag thing that you attach, or you can put it in a place that logos are usually located. So like a smaller version right here on the chest, like a polo, or right here as some of the sports shirts are, or in the back of the shirt on the back side. So making sure that it's small enough for it to be recognized as a logo. Others are like disclaimers, identification of goods, consent agreements, translation, too popular viral phrases. Now, if it's a too popular viral phrase, I'm sorry, more than likely you won't be able to overcome that. And that is why Cardi B couldn't register. Oh, God, she couldn't do it. Okay, because it was too popular. Okay, but if it's agreement or consent agreement or translation, if you are the one who needs to give consent because it's your name, then usually okay. But if you're using Beyonce's babies, you probably ain't gonna be able to go through with that because you don't have Beyonce's consent to use her name because it identifies a real living person. Okay, identification of goods is just how you wrote it. Okay, sometimes we write things awkwardly, or we want everything included, or only some things can be included on application. And then lastly, disclaimers. Sometimes you use words that are common words and you can't own that word. Now, I want you to screenshot this page because this is more than likely where all of you guys are facing, okay? Applied and got rejected, okay? That's more than likely your thing. I saved it for the end because why? I need you guys to have a strategy plan right after I tell you what your problem is, okay? But one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is why I want you to screenshot is that your name is probably not strong, okay? You more than likely have a weak or weaker name in the descriptive or the suggestive category. If it's generic, like nails for nail salon, yeah, girl, I'm just gonna tell you, I feel bad for you, son, but your name is the problem. It's gonna get you the gun of trademark law. Okay, so keep that in mind. If it's any of these, it's because of this. Okay, your name strength plays a big role into how you get these types of things overcome, especially the 2D refusal. Most times you get a 2D refusal because you didn't make up a word. You just used the word in the English language. And when you use a word in the English language, more than likely somebody else also thought of the same exact phrasing. So just keeping that in mind, the stronger your name, the less of these you can get. Okay. Here's your attack plan. Okay. Pull it out for you. So I want you guys to use a strong brand name. Okay. This is your pivot plan. You've been trademarked. Okay. We've already talked about your different options, but this is really easy. Okay. Even if you got it trademarked. Okay. This is the attack plan I want you to go through. Even if you're going to decide to fight it. Okay. Remember, I asked you if you're going to rebrand or if you're going to fight and keep your business. But regardless, this is what I want you to do for your attack plan. I want you to use a strong brand name, preferably a made up word. Okay. I want you to consult with a licensed IP lawyer for search and filing. Okay. Maybe you can only afford the search, but at least consult with them about the search and filing. Okay. And they can even advise you about the merits of a different name. Okay. Trademark bullies are not always right. You can consider fighting. Okay. I want you to do your own protection by filing a trademark under your LLC. So you don't want to file a trademark under your personal name. So if you have filed a trademark under your personal name, you can change the ownership of it. Okay. Transfer the ownership to your company, because if you get sued, your company's assets will be up for grabs and not your own personal assets. Okay. Do not put your home address on your trademark applications. Either get a business address or secure a P.O. box and some other form of a physical address for your application. Create a 3-month social media content plan for this rebrand, okay? This rebrand or this current brand, right, that you're going to do. Be consistent with the leads to get the capital that you need, okay? Because sometimes you're not trying to rebrand because you don't think anybody's going to buy your business. They might actually like your rebranded name. Just saying, you can get a lot out of the fire and the pressure that's put on a diamond in the rough, okay? Office actions can be overcome with proper wording or proof. That's why we get an IP lawyer, or you need to get proper wording or proof, and you need to research what that is diligently. Your trademark examiner can assist with a phone call nudge. Either you can call or your attorney can call. Now, when your attorney is talking to another attorney, they share a little bit more. When it's a layperson talking to an examining attorney, sometimes they're helpful and sometimes they ain't so nice. Okay, that's just all people. That's just how life goes. But just remember, a phone call is advised to an email. Okay, make an annual profit goal. Okay, and determine the clients that you need. Again, you just need to figure out if you can afford this, right? This is your pivot attack plan. You got to get the money, okay? Get some money together so that you can invest in a fight if you want to fight, or a rebrand if you want to rebrand, okay? Create brand consistency with the same name on everything. So whatever it is you choose to do, either keep your name or create a new name. Make sure it's the same name across the board. Get all your logos and your pics and your videos exclusive copyright rights. So those copyright assignment agreements, those things will save you time and money. Then I want you to get rid of all packaging and materials that is infringing. So if you are found to be in infringement right now, or you have a cease and desist, get rid of it. Stop using it. Use something different. Use a variation, a cheapo variation of it until you get a decision. Okay, don't order nothing else from your manufacturer until then, so you don't lose no more money. Okay, you can get plain brown bags, you can get plain envelopes, you can get plain letterhead until you can figure out if you're infringing. Okay, I know that doesn't feel great, but you know what doesn't feel great as well is having to destroy all that stuff you created because you just decided to be hard-headed and say, this is my brand, you can't tell me what to do. Yes, they can. Okay. Lastly, change your LLC name to your new name if you choose to go that route, and get a consent agreement in advance so you don't get held up. So sometimes you have to create your own consent agreement. I know this seems weird, but you have to yourself, me, Nina Spear, has to give consent to my law firm, Nina R. Spear Law Firm, to use my name in a trademark application. So go ahead and get that consent agreement drawn up for yourself in advance so you don't run into this problem, because as soon as they see a name or what looks like a name, they're gonna tell you no. Okay, So that is your Pivot 101 attack plan. This is the thing I want you to take a great, wonderful picture of, okay? Because Pivot 101, this action plan, this thing is going to help you, okay? It is a foolproof method to start preparing for either an attack, I'm fighting back, or an attack, I'm rebranding, but I'm still fighting back, okay? Either way, you still need to make sure you go through these steps. And there's about 16 steps. The reason why I made it so many is because maybe you can't get everything checked off. But some of these things you can do when you don't need no money, because I told you what you can do. You can get that Canva, that Calendly, all of that. If you get the money together so that you can afford to fight, then you can fight. If you don't get the money together so you can afford to fight, then maybe you got to rebrand. But at least if you rebrand, you got a plan. And that's what you need. It's a pivot attack plan. You can either pivot and rebrand, or you can pivot and attack. Okay? But if you choose to attack, you got to move everything out of you so that they don't come for you. Okay? I'm just letting you know. But if you choose to keep your name, then you don't have to change your LLC name, but you do have to remove all that packaging. Move it. Stop using it. Use something generic until we decide whether or not you're going to use it. Okay? And that's the most important thing to do, is that you don't create any more of a case against yourself. Okay? So, as a thank you, you guys have been so amazing. Stayed with me throughout this entire presentation. If you did, right? And if you watch it later, that's cool. But this deal will only be up for a limited time. Just to say thank you for staying, you will get my free Dear Future CEO Ronnie playbook. All right. Just by going to this link, bit.ly/CEO Ronnie. Okay. I will put that in the comments for you guys as well, but it is bit.ly/CEO Ronnie free. Okay. That's all you guys got to type. And then you guys will be on your way to having a playbook that will help you guys do this process, because it's not easy. It is not easy. Okay. I make this whole thing on a regular basis with my clients, and it's not fun. Sometimes they like the process, but I love what I do. I love what I do so much so that I don't want you guys to go through the process alone. And so this playbook kind of talks about real strategies that you need to start implementing and real considerations you need to start making to make that change. So I want to give you guys that free book. Is that free book just for you? I know free books crazy, but I love it. Books hold a lot of information in them. Okay, so you get a free book just for staying today. Now, y'all know if you've ever gone to a masterclass, I always got a deal. I do. And so if you stay to the very end, right, there is a deal that's time sensitive, of course, all right, for the next 24 hours. Now, I don't know if y'all know what my normal consultation price is, but I usually charge $350 per person for a consultation. Now, I am only limiting this to 10 people, 10 entrepreneurs that I really want to see reach their next level. Okay. So instead of paying $350 per person like I normally charge, I am going to do a mastermind special VIP group trademark consultation for 2 hours, not one, but 2 hours. I'm going to conduct 3 initial searches. We're going to talk about how to make their name stronger in a breakout room, and we are going to provide a CEO Ronnie course that walks them through the steps of business protections. But it's only if you're ready to break free of fear. Okay, this is only for 10 serious entrepreneurs, because I'm serious about my time as much as I know that you are serious about your time. And if your time is serious and valuable, then you understand what I mean. Okay, you was born this way. This is your name, right? This is your people. These are your connections. And I want you to be around serious entrepreneurs that are going to help you get to that next level. And as you guys can see, the motivation from me, everyone who stayed gets that free CEO Ronnie playbook. You can just email and text 205-490-8068 with the word I'm ready to pivot 2021 hashtag. All right. Plenty of people doubted me, but I went from $80 to 5 figures in less than a year. And you can too. Okay. And then you'll trademark all the popular elements of your brand. But the first person to text the phrase that pays, which is hashtag I'm ready to pivot 2021, will get a $250 off a VIP group session with Nina for Trademark. So you don't even have to do anything right now except for text 205-490-8068 with the phrase that pays, which is hashtag I'm ready to pivot 2021. Okay. And then on September 29th, 2021, I will host a VIP trademark group consultation that costs $97 per person and is limited to 10, only 10 lucky entrepreneurs. So once my 10 have messaged me and taken advantage of the deals, that's it. But the people who pay, that's who's going to be able to take advantage of the deal. You need to know how to pay. It's right here. Screenshot the screen, bit.ly/pay Nina. But it's the first 10 people to pay. Usually my time sensitive offers, they happen real quickly. And if you don't get it, but it's a 24-hour offer for you to take advantage of affordable legal consultation for a limited time for people who are ready. You not necessarily know exactly how to do your trademark yet. You don't necessarily know exactly where you're going with your business, but you know one thing, you want to protect it. And if you want to break free of the fear of what happens if, and you want to talk to someone who is a trademark lawyer, I got you. But it's only 10 people. I'm not doing more than 10. The reason why is because 10 means that we get an intimate conversation about your business. And that 2-hour session can be spent doing solutions and finding answers to the questions that you have. But it will be a name strength workshop. You will be separated into breakout rooms, and I will be able to come into each one of those rooms and talk to you while you are coming up with your name strength and your unique information that you will share with me and only me. All right. And then once we finish, we will actually work through the strategy session of building businesses, getting a social media strategy in place, and going a step further, right? By giving you that CEO Ronnie course access. That course is regularly priced at $97. And what I'm doing is charging the price I charge for the course for legal services. I don't ever do that, y'all. I usually charge $350 every time. You don't get no discount. That's just how it go. Okay, so take advantage of this offer, this opportunity to really work through some stuff and have a hands-on experience. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this presentation, but more than that, I hope that you guys really trademark your business and remember something. Okay, you guys are limitless. Okay, you have no limits. You have no limits, none. There is nothing limiting you. You are limitless. You are the best version, all right? And if you guys need any type of motivation, let me tell you, okay? I started out 2018, okay? Not too long ago, right? It seems like it's been so long because I've been out here killing the game, but not too long ago, okay? It's 2021, about to be 2022. And after 3 years of practice, okay, I am finally in the position where I can take care of my website, take care of my bills. I came off of my mom's phone plan, started paying for my own stuff. But for me, entrepreneurship and breaking free is a process. It's one step at a time, step by step. Everything you are doing right now is contributing to your excellence, to your goals, to your dream. There is nothing that I'm telling you right now that is not within your reach. Everything that we talked about today, the Trademark 101 pivot plan, that's something that if someone had just given me an attack list of how to fix it, right? Someone already trademarked my stuff, and now how can I get around that? Then I would feel 10 times better, right? But maybe you don't feel 10 times better, not because you don't think that you're limitless, but because no one's ever told you, right, the cool things about your brand. And nobody's ever given you the opportunity to see how your brand can go to the next level. But that trademarked already doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to keep you from what you deserve. And what you deserve is for somebody to know your brand and be able to protect it, license it, and make a profit from it. And what people miss in the trademark world is that sometimes people take advantage of ignorance in this world, okay? They take advantage of you, okay? Because you don't know that though they are telling you that you might be infringing, they might be wrong. They actually might be wrong on the law. And the only one who can help you with that might be a trademark attorney, but because they know you can't afford to talk to one, they're going to try to intimidate you. They're going to call you. They're going to harass you. They're going to send you scam mail and tell you that in order for you to get it registered, you got to pay $1,400 extra dollars. Don't listen to that. Your business has the ability to become nationally recognized. Your business has the ability to be on the next level of excellence. And all you have to do for your business is to truly, right, lean in. Just lean in to the business that you are working so hard on. Lean in, lean into what you need. And maybe for the next 3 months or the next 4 months, however long you're with me, because we have 3 more master classes, but for the next 3 months, okay, we're going to be going over things that can help you solve real business problems. Next month, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to build a reliable nonprofit board, because a lot of you have told me you want to build nonprofits, but you might not know how to find some quality people. And let me tell you, it is not easy. I fired people for a very good part of my startup process with my nonprofit. But when I learned what it was that I was looking for and the types of people that I could draw into my business, everything became clear. But you are limitless. You are limitless because you are the one created, right? To fix what it is that's broken in your system. All right. You are the right person for the job. As Sarah Jakes likes to say, you are the only one who can do what you do. Okay. The way that you do it. And so, because of that, trademarks are important to you, not because I'm telling you they're important, but because the time and effort you put into your business is valuable. And there is not a world or a person on this earth that should be able to make you feel like the time, energy, and money you put into your business is not worth protecting. Okay? No one should make you afraid because of finances. And because of that, I want to offer something just exclusive to you. You're a serious business person and you really want to have somebody help you and listen to you and try to come up with a strategy to best protect your business. I'm here. Okay. Maybe I can't help you with the process, or maybe you can't get the packages right now, but you got me uninterrupted for 2 hours on September the 29th at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, same time. But I'm here for you. So if that's you, if that's you, okay, I want you to join. Okay, I want you to join this class, because I promise you, you know, this class, this class, it's not something, it's not something I do on a whim. Okay, I do it because I want you to win. Okay, so this special deal that I have for you, it's because I want you to win. Okay, so invest in a class, invest in a service that I cannot normally provide, because I'm spending so much time with my trademark clients and so much time on my other legal matters that I don't get a chance to do this, but I want to. I want to provide a group consultation for you. 2 hours. Okay, 3 searches, a name strength workshop to get you ready, and then a CEO running course to boot. Okay, this is limited to serious entrepreneurs because I know that somebody in here, okay, is going to be able to trademark something that's worth millions. Okay, and I want to be able to devote some time to coach you on that part of your business. Okay, so we're going to add some business coaching to my realm of things I do for you. But I do this for my business owners all the time. I want you guys to understand the limitlessness of your nature. All right. And last but not least, it's already trademarked. Pivot 101. I hope you enjoyed this. It's finished. This was done by Nina Pure Law Firm LLC. All our rights are in fact reserved. But what I will tell you is that this is not the last time I'll be seeing you. So I'm just going to end this with saying I'll talk to you soon. And I'll give you one piece of information that maybe you didn't hear, okay, today. You might be confused on this process, okay, because I got to confuse on the process in my comments. You might have already had your business trademark, but you know what you didn't have? You didn't necessarily have someone that you can confide in, that could give you feedback, that could tell you whether or not you had to give up. A lot of people, they call and they feel so powerless. They feel helpless because they got an email or a letter in the mail that says cease and desist. You can't use this brand anymore. And all they wanted to do was protect their business. If that's you, if you're just trying to protect your business, why not come to this group consultation? It's going to be something that you get personalized, specialized attention, just like my trademark clients, okay? And I want to take my time and dedicate it back to you. So if that's something that you care about, if you care about just being able to talk to somebody that's not necessarily just your friends or your Facebook crew or the people that you normally run your ideas by, I'm here. I'm listening. And I want you to know that you might not have trusted trademark attorneys before. You might not have trusted attorneys at all. But I think that your dream at least deserves to be shared in a safe place where we can talk about strategies for success. And I can give you some things that will really help you if you do decide to rebrand or keep your name, okay? Because a strategy is so much more valuable than going in it blind, okay? So don't go in it blind. Come join us, all right? And go and send that message, all right, to 205-490-8068. All you have to do is put this hashtag up there. I'm ready to pivot 2021. Hashtag. That's it. That's it. All right. And if you want your free prize for today, it is bit.ly/CEO Ronnie free. Okay, that's all you have to put in here in order for you to get the prizes and all of that. More than that, guys, I love y'all. So gonna let y'all in on another freebie where y'all can find more trademark stuff, and then I'll let you go. But I hope you guys do come because it is gonna happen again on Thursday. So y'all gonna come on Thursday. Let me know what you guys think about our tips on the trademark that Thursday. So here's our nice little ad. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this presentation of It's Already Trademark Pivot 101. I'll see you at my next masterclass. And if you don't know how to reach my masterclass, well, how did you get here to the first one? Don't worry. If you signed up for a masterclass in the past, you will see a link to the next masterclass sign up form in your email shortly after this masterclass. If you didn't sign up for a masterclass, don't worry. We have sponsored ads that go through your Facebook and Instagram feeds. And if you're looking for it, it will always be on Trademark That Thursdays, Dear Future CEO Ronnie, and Nina_RANI on Instagram. If you don't know how to find any of these informationals, just know here go my materials and information scrolling across the bottom. Okay? NinaTheLastBrand.com, 205-490-8068, your first name and your last name. Reference that you attended this masterclass or masterclass, and we will make sure that we take care of you. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on your trademarking process. And if you need somebody, call somebody that knows what they're doing when it comes to trademarks. Have a wonderful night, and of course, no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers, and this is not intended to be an advertisement. Have a wonderful day.